Greetings and bienvenue, Midnight Crew. Thank you for returning to this broadcast. And welcome to new viewers joining us for the first time. If you like a video, then feel free to subscribe.
Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Share stories of people you know and personal events that have almost caused death. Includes any major injury, OD, coma, car crash, etc. Just some point in your life that you were closest to death. And if it affected your life at all, doesn't matter if it is paranormal or not. Be me. Be 16. Bunch of friends at a friend's house playing Gears of War. 2 a.m., time to go. No phone in the house. We walk to the road to take taxis. Reach a point where the road split in two. A bridge or below the bridge. Decide to go below because we are lazy. Almost there, a friend stops us. Guys, did you see that? Says he saw a chick run over the bridge. Maybe she is in trouble. Bunch of 3 underage, dumb, fearless idiots. Run back and over the bridge to see if she is fine. No one there. Not even in the distance. Decide to take the bridge. We are there after all. Same friend as before. He throws himself on the floor. Guys, hide, quick. All on the floor now. See a group of gang members down the bridge. At least 15 of them. See some got machetes and iron pipes. They are where we should have been if we went down the bridge. Wait until they pass. Bolt back to the friend's house. Sleep there until dawn.
Sure, I'm Australian for reference if the location is relevant. My old man was just getting out of the narcotics business after we lost our mum to cancer, and he had a newborn kid with his new girlfriend afterwards. A good man who was just dealt a shit hand in life and did what he had to do for his family, amongst other circumstances I won't get into for the sake of typing on this tablet being a pain in my ass and digressing. 3 months after my newborn sister was born, he got busted in a house raid by police and ended up doing jail time for a few years. Ended up with just me at 16 taking care of my sister and his girlfriend because she fell into using her own supply, and my younger brother left to live with our grandparents. About 2 months later at 3 p.m. I got into a fight with my dad's girlfriend, and she took my sister to see him in prison for a visit without me due to spite. And it ended up being a good thing because I don't know how bad it would have been if they were there. These 2 guys who knew my dad assumed there was some stash of money or drugs in the house. I was sitting in my room on my computer playing Gary's mod, and I heard 2 huge bang-bang sounds. I got up instantly and thought to call the cops as I had my phone in my hand but stalled in fear. Then a guy breaks down my bedroom door in a balaclava mask and just stares at me, and I freeze in fear like a deer in headlights. He runs out and comes back in briefly with another guy in a balaclava and drags me around. Beats me up and hits my head a few times, demanding to know, where's the stash? I am freaking the fuck out, and I was pretty skinny from being poor and malnourished as a teen and telling them I'm just a kid I don't know. I get dragged into the main room and punched so hard I'm seeing stars and thinking, this is it. I actually shit myself in fear literally and got stabbed with a screwdriver. I muttered something about, maybe it's out back in the shed, and they dragged me out to the backyard. I saw an opportunity to run when the guy dragging me let go, and I sprinted around the corner of my house, hurtled over the fence and ran for my life. I don't remember running, but I woke up on someone's front lawn 2 streets away, slurring for help with tears in my eyes, phasing in and out of consciousness. A guy and his son picked me up and put me on their couch and called the cops and an ambulance. Fast forward, and they never caught the guys. My old man is pretty well known and connected in the underbelly world here and broke his fist punching his cell walls when he found out. Cops never found the guys. My dad found out one of them hung himself and I never had the heart to ask about the other. But it turns out he's hiding up north somewhere. If it matters to you, my family has sort of healed, and Dad's out. We're all working for a better future. And I'm 24 now, but I never felt pure adrenaline and fear than when I was bashed and stabbed almost to death by two towering guys invading my house in broad daylight. They must have been on speed or something.
Have waited my whole life for a thread like this. Be me, about 2. Home alone with mother. Father is deployed LMAO. Have a pit bull and cats. Cats are assholes and steal food from the dog. She's very protective of her food. I'm chilling in the kitchen with mom while she makes lunch or something. Bored.jpg. Walk up to the dog while she happens to be eating. She snaps at me, manages to actually fucking bite me. She lets go pretty quick, starts screaming and crying. Blood everywhere. Start touching my face, and then the wall. Mom loses her shit, grabs me and tries to call 911. Days of dial-up internet though. Takes forever to disconnect the computer, but she finally gets the call. Blood. Firemen show up and go inside to check out the dog, get her tags and shit. Ambulance takes me to the hospital after fucking forever. Hours in surgery. Doc says they stopped counting after 110 stitches. After that, spent a few days in the hospital, feeling pretty good now. Can't remember shit because of the anesthesia they used. But wait, there's more. Get released. Go shopping with mom for food. At Target, my face starts to swell and pus starts leaking from the stitches. That feel when you didn't get a tetanus shot and your already awful injury gets worse. Have to open and clean, and then reclose all the stitches. Scars all over my face. Miraculously didn't go blind or die. Sorry for long post.
Be 17 years old. Work at a mom and pop pizza place in the Midwest. Fairly small town, we're really the only fast food place, so we deliver a lot. Other worker leaves for college, leaving me and some 15-year-old girl as the delivery drivers. Boss didn't want a 15-year-old girl delivering pizza late at night, so I do it. Didn't mind getting some fresh air, but I didn't have a car yet because poor, so I rode my bike. Every day is leg day. One night I'm on a lonely stretch of road with an open cow field to my right and a cornfield to my left, and nothing else for like 2 miles. Peaceful summer night, taking my time and enjoying the ride. See some corn stalks to my right sway back and forth. Anticipate punk middle schoolers getting ready to egg me or something. Get close to it, and nothing of the sort happens, but I can tell something is moving around in there. Get the instinctual GTFO feeling and pedal away. A few nights later, I'm back in the same spot, too embarrassed to tell my boss of the last time. I've got a big heavy-duty flashlight this time. Get to the same spot, see nothing, and start to pedal when the stalks start moving and I hear a growl. Sounded like a dog, lion, coyote hybrid. I don't know, I couldn't place it. Definitely see something moving in the stalks now and I haul ass. It chases me while staying in the corn. If I wasn't on a bike, there's no way I would have gotten away. Get past the end of the cornfield, look over my shoulder and see a long, sleek black animal on all fours sticking out of the corn. If I had to guess, I'd say it looked like a panther, even though that sounds stupid. Tell my boss this time. Say I need to get driven when I go that way, or I'm not going at all. An M&M wannabe regular customer. This kid thought he was a gangbanger despite being a fat white kid in the Midwest. Offers to drive me occasionally for free pizza. Get driven down that road in an Eminem wannabe's Oldsmobile listening to NWA for the next few months until I save up for a car.
B. Marine. At a range shooting wire, guided anti-tank missiles in the desert. All done shooting. Boss makes us pick up all the copper wire that the missiles use as guidance because the Marine Corps is broke and copper is expensive. There are strands of wire kilometers long all over the desert. Myself and 3 other low-ranking enlisted begin picking up wire, walking around with hands in my pocket looking for strands of it, but really just kind of spacing out. Mid-step, right foot on the ground, left foot up in the air when I feel a push on the side of my body, knocking me off balance. Look around, look behind, nobody around me to have pushed me. Look down to where I would have stepped if I hadn't been knocked off balance. Tip of a new unexploded high explosive 40-millimeter grenade sticking up out of the ground. Oh shit, dude. If I had stepped on that, it would have been game. Blouses. Notify higher-ups who then call the explosive ordnance disposal team. Cordon off the area until bomb squad shows up and deals with it. Guess it wasn't my time yet.
Be me. 12 years old, 8 years ago. Live in a not-so-normal neighborhood. Basically, instead of streets and lights, gravel streets and a ton of trees. Green basically everywhere. This place had a kind of secret that nobody of our age knew about. I discovered it with a friend. It was a dead canal, dried a long time ago. You could start walking on it until you found a blocked path. Sometime later, we realized there's a path, and you can get past the obstacle. It's so full of trees, it's basically a forest. You couldn't see the sunlight. One day, we grew some balls and start walking, and walking, and walking. The canal is kilometers long. Walk for like 30 to 45 minutes until we start hearing movement outside the mini-forest that the canal formed. Just a bunch of people working in a building, but one of the group shits himself and runs back. So we decided to go back. A year later, we decided to return with one guy. But something is wrong. There's a lot of trash. As we walk, we find more. At one point, wine bottles, cans of beer, every kind of alcohol. The place looks shittier and shittier. Suddenly, some plastic chairs and a table full of stuff. A kitchen knife, cigarettes, drugs. The chair is warm. Someone has sat there for a few minutes ago. Decide to get the fuck out of there. Running at sonic speed. We are safe.jpg. A week later, assholes started breaking into houses late at night, stealing everything. A 15-year-old kid, high out of his mind, with a rusty axe, trying to kill someone. They even stole fucking pets. Cameras are set up. They are all coming out of the fucking canal. It's sealed. Cops all around the place 24/7. And that's how we barely escaped from their base. I can't imagine what could have happened to us.
B-19. I think my memory there is a bit rusty. At a local beach with family. Mother, auntie, stepsister, and her 2 children decide to dig a really big pit in the sand like when I was younger. Quite deep, maybe 2 meters, 1.5 meters across. Dig into the side to form a tunnel. It gets long enough for me to climb into it so that my whole body fits inside. Hear footsteps inside while I'm extending it, sand grains falling from the roof. Everything collapses on top of me. Trapped under around 2 meters of sand, so heavy that I'm unable to just stand up out of it. Can only move my head and hands a little bit. Wrists, ankles, legs, and neck all stuck fast. Losing the ability to breathe. Give up all hope. Start imagining newspaper headlines about an idiot who offed himself by digging a tunnel. Decide, not like this, and begin shouting as loud and long as I can for help. Family oblivious for around 2 minutes. Starting to choke on sand. It's in my eyes, well, fuck. They rush over and dig me out, stabbing me with spades the whole time. Small price to pay for staying alive. Get out. Covered in sand. They act like it was no big deal, probably, to calm me down. Or maybe they just didn't care. Who knows? In shock, trying not to speak for the rest of the journey home, just replaying what just happened in my mind.
My cousin died like this. Dug a deep hole while at the beach with his friend's family, fell in head first. His friend's family had gone to the car to get something at the time it happened. Due to falling in head first, he broke his neck and sand piled on top of him. He was only 11 at the time.
Be me. 16 years old. Varsity football player at the height of my sophomore year. Stoned with a couple friends walking through the alley. I was always known as the Hoodie Kid because I wore a hoodie with the sleeves rolled up. I made it look cool, okay? We're all drunk, walking along a Bank of America with one of those quadruple-story parking garages without elevators. Suddenly we hear sirens behind us. 2 cop cars are behind us, tell us over loudspeaker to stop and put our backpacks down. Both of my friends bolt before I have a say in anything. They go down the alley to a different location together. Cops are now looking at me. Quickly sprint into the parking garage, calling on adrenaline, football skills, and natural athletics. Haul ass up 4 stories of slanted parking garage, getting to the top and looking around for a fire escape. There isn't one. Cop cars roll up quickly. They immediately get out of the car and whip out tasers like dickheads. Look around, see another building about a story down and 10 feet away in empty space between this building. Flip up my hood like an autist. Dead sprint and do a leap off the Bank of America, screaming the whole time. Land, eat shit though, and roll my ankle. Hear cops screaming and cussing, running back to their cars. I get up, injured but free. My friends were on the roof of the building I just jumped on, looking at me with their mouths wide open. I still wear a hoodie to this day.
My old friend, piece of shit who can't be trusted, invited me over to his house to go smoke. I agreed like normal. I hop on my fixed gear and take off zooming to my destination until I pass this last street corner where cars to my left had the right of way, and this green Mercedes-Benz rushes my way with no sign of stopping and knocks my ass smooth flat on the pavement. I thought I was dead until I felt the worst burning in my knees. Then this man tie-dyed helping me up. I told him I don't think I can get up and my legs are done, and he said, I'll be fine. I got up, looked around, put my Cherry 12 Jordans on, and heard sirens, so I grabbed my bike frame and limped away from the scene, and the paramedics found me, took my info, and sued me for hit and run. What a country.
Be me about 16 years old, riding in a friend's car in the back seat in the middle. For the win.jpg, be at a red light just turned green. They see me rolling. We pull out about maybe 5 feet from the stoplight. Wham! An old man in a car slams the scene phase right out of us. The impact was so hard it knocked my glasses off. Thought I still had them on. Was later told by paramedics that if I would have been in the front seat, I would have been crushed. Walk away feeling fine. Go to hospital later that night in severe pain. Find out my leg has a 6-inch gash. Whole leg is purple. I'm lucky to walk on it. Seen pictures of the car a week later. Looks like a compact car. It was an Oldsmobile. My story isn't as bad as some others, but Hot damn, I think about it a lot that if I wasn't in the back seat, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
But was your friend okay?
Everyone else was fine. The worst of it was that one person had to get 12 stitches in his mouth, but much more than that, I believe it or not, suffered the most out of the whole thing. I had the hoodie I was wearing for a while that had my friend's blood on it. Don't know where it got to now, though.
B7. Used to live in Russia. Get off the bus with family. Mom and aunt crossed the highway first. Helped my grandma unload stuff. Wanna be with mom. My dumbass decides to run across the highway after mom. Almost make it. Remember that I fell forward. Everything is a blur. Next thing I remember is screeching. My mom yelling at me. The driver coming over and yelling. I was told that I was almost hit by a car doing like 80 kilometers per hour. I know that I fell down. I know one of my shoes fell off. I think something pushed me forward out of the way of the car. How is it that I ended up falling forwards and not being hit by the car? Should have been hit and died. Instead, did not even get a bruise.
Be 6-year-old me. Busy traffic in the Philippines. The right-of-way belongs to the vehicles, not you. No traffic lights. My uncle grabs me and throws me into traffic as a joke. He stops laughing when he sees an 18-wheeler slam into my tiny body. I legit get thrown at least a quarter block by the force. Get up. The only cut on me is from the initial impact of being thrown into the street by my uncle. Be 8-year-old me. My grandpa has severe PTSD and a kill count higher than the number of fingers and toes between 3 people. Realizes that he was a good soldier. Also realizes he is old. Throws me into a pit one day. Tells me my training begins right then. Stay in the pit for 3 days, no food or water. Grandpa comes to check on the pit a week after throwing me in. Finds out I had climbed out after 3 days. Had dry heaved and passed out in front of parents. They thought I got kidnapped. Don't believe me when I explain what happened. Be me now. A fresh 18 years old. In the US of A now. Go on a bus ride to negotiate FAFSA with community college. The bus drops me off at a street 5 blocks away from the college. Fuck it. Shit was free because a local fair was happening. Would have had to pay the full fare otherwise. Start walking down the street, realize it's motherfucking Loughborough. Local gang with guns, knives, and half a brain cell shared among all of them. I'm just a little old Christian boy. 3 of them confront me as I walk down the street. Taunt me and shit as I keep walking. One of them pulls a knife on me and tells me to give him my money. I slam my books against his face, grab his knife and throw it over a fence. The 2 others panic and pull their knives on me. I raise my books over my head and book it.
Be 6 to 7 years old me. Happy that I'm going over to my dad's friend's PC shop to play some Mortal Kombat. Go in. Few guys there. Go to dad's friend and ask him to play Mortal Kombat. 2 to 3 hours pass. I get tired of playing and decided to go back home. Was just in front of the shop. Exit out of the PC shop. An older guy on a bike yells at me and people to get out of the way because he's gonna roll with the bike into us if not. Ignore the cuck.jpg. Start to cross the street, the older guy hits me with the bike's handle in the right eye. I believe I can fly.jpg. Lose consciousness, wake up in the hospital, stitches all over my eye. Parents going crazy arguing. Asked if I could have some water and what happened. Learned only, after 1 week, that I can't see with my right eye anymore. Fast forward 10 years later. Go back to my dad's place. Find the fucker. Beat him into a coma.
Got a few. Some are pretty mundane, some are slightly more interesting. First story. B12. Driving home with my dad like any other day, sitting on the passenger side. We're talking about music as he rolls up to a stop sign at a four-way intersection. I jokingly say some band is shit. He stays put for maybe 5 seconds at the stop sign, so he can remind me a few times not to use that kind of language. I'm like, yay, yay, yay. He inches forward. An SUV blows the stop sign going 50 or 60 miles per hour the other way. Misses our car by about a foot. Briefly see a bunch of stereotypical frat boys with open beer cans yelling as they pass. Dad and I stare wide-eyed at the road for a while, look at each other, say nothing, and he keeps driving. We were in an old Accord. If my dad hadn't paused for naughty words, the SUV would have T-boned my side of the car. Second story. This time in college. Was pretty depressed, thinking about an hero most days for the past 2 years. Knew I shouldn't because it would probably destroy my family, and generally not impulsive, so low chance it'd actually happen. Anyway, flew out to Oregon with a buddy to see my best friend. Realize over the course of a few days that my friend is slowly becoming schizophrenic. A lot of things click into place, and I feel like an idiot. Know from talking with him before that if he ever lost touch, he'd probably off himself. My other friend talking about doing the into the wild thing. I tell him that's stupid. He says, if he dies, he dies. I assume he's planning a death trip. Drink a quarter bottle of whiskey one night. Realize that the only 2 people I can relate to in life will probably die before I'm 25. Get in a bad place. My friend had a bunch of tar opium he got off Silk Road. We smoke some. I pinch a chunk off, eat it, and figure I'll see if I live or die. 10 minutes later, I feel a big rush, warm all over, then really intense stabbing pain in my gut. Throw up a few times, then the moment the pain goes away, I pass out. Wake up 4 hours later, so high I can barely move, grab the trash can, and puke again. My friend asks if I'm all right, said he checked for my breathing and could barely tell it was there for a bit. Puke 6 or 7 more times over the course of the night. Feel a heavy body high for a full day afterwards. Ended up fine, thank Christ, and opiate apathy got me over the worst of beating myself up over it. My friends ended up fine in the long run. I was just being pessimistic because I was depressed. Funnier story. Probably wouldn't have died, but could have gotten hurt pretty bad. Be me 13. My friends and I watch a show on the History Channel about nerds who make historical weapons. They're casting Revolutionary War-era cannons. Firing them off. Looks cool. My friends and I figure how hard can that be? Go to a friend's house where parents don't give a shit. Grab a semi-rusty old pipe, a hammer, some gunpowder, lighter fluid, a thin piece of rope, and a cork, because we thought it'd be safer to fire off than a chunk of metal in a residential neighborhood. Eventually make a homebrew cork cannon. A friend ends up having his dad weld one end of the pipe shut. Says it's for a school project. We take our cannon up to a hill so we can fire it at a drainage pond. A friend takes a barbecue lighter and starts the lighter fluid-soaked wick, runs about 20 feet away. I'm lying down. My friends are squatting. I tell them to lie down too. They laugh, but I bug them so they do it. Hear a huge crack, brief whizzes, a big cloud of white smoke. Go check the cannon. The cork got stuck, so the thing burst in the middle. Realize we accidentally made a fucking pipe bomb. Check the trees around the clearing where we were. Tons of them are riddled with shrapnel. Run away. Don't get caught. Years later, realize how stupid we all were.
Be me, 4 years old. Mom was in an abusive relationship. One day, her abusive ex-boyfriend and her are fighting hardcore. I forgot about what. He grabs my mom and throws her on the back of his truck. She's crying and tells me to run to the apartment and wait there for her when she gets back. I refuse to let go of my mom. The fucker doesn't care and just speeds off. Scared because we lived in a bad neighborhood and I was terrified of being alone. I literally run out into this busy ass street chasing after this crazy bastard's truck. I remember my mom holding her hand out to me and yelling. I guess the guy finally realized I was chasing them and slammed on the brakes and threw me in with her. When we stopped at a stoplight, my mom jumped out with me and we hightailed it to some family's house to use their phone. I shouldn't even be alive because I was so small back then. Any car could have not seen me and rammed into me. It was a busy-ass street in a part of Texas where people drive like they don't give a shit. I consider it a real miracle that I didn't die. The guy had a family member who was a judge in Corpus Christi, so he always got off the hook. We finally got rid of him when my mom produced evidence that he was beating me. Crazy time, man.
I had a few experiences where I could have easily died riding my bike. Summertime. Late for class, biking really fast downtown. Right around the corner from class when I hit a red light. A semi-truck pulls up next to me, but doesn't stop. They're making a right turn on red and they don't see me. The semi-truck starts to turn right onto me. Next thing I know, my leg is about to be pinned between the truck and my bike. Nope. Some crazy cat reflex kicks in. I jump right before this truck would have smashed my leg. My bike gets totally destroyed and the truck stops for a second. They look back at me, made direct eye contact with me, and then kept driving away. Cops said they weren't able to see anything on the cameras, and my bike was completely destroyed. Luckily, nothing happened to my leg except some pain and a really bad bruise, but I feel like I have a slight limp because of that now. Another time I was biking to do some work at a building downtown, and I hit a bump on the road and flipped over my bike. A car coming in the opposite direction swerved out of their way from hitting me, and they stopped but didn't check if I was okay and just kept going.
Be 14-year-old me. My parents, their friends, and my little bro went for a short trip out of town. I'm home alone, studying for a test. Suddenly, an overwhelming feeling of dread. So overwhelming I say every prayer I could remember. Fast forward to late evening. The family comes back. Thank you, based God. What the hell? I was worried, you know. Nah, we're okay. But our friend's car got wrecked. Someone was speeding and crashed into our friend's car. Our friends were injured. The car was wrecked. My family's car was just behind theirs. It all happened around the time I was feeling dread. Of course, it could be just a coincidence. I was an anxious little bitch. And as I'm seeing it now, I didn't have any friends for a good reason. But I've been religious ever since, just in case.
When I was a baby, I was locked in a car for hours in searing heat. It's a wonder I didn't die. Another was when I was 16, my friend and I were racing some other friends home. My friend was driving a shitty Peugeot 206 throwaway car, and when we faced a sharp turn, the brakes cut out and we were a few inches from hitting the sidewalk at high speed and getting crushed by a wall. We think someone in the parking lot of a pub we were at prior to this cut the brakes for whatever reason. Ironically, the other friends we were racing crashed their car into a pillar in a Tesco car park that same night. Another was when I was about 6 or 7 and I began choking on a steak at a barbecue. I couldn't talk and I literally walked over to my aunt and began gagging and choking and pointing at my mouth signalling, "I'm fucking choking." And she just muttered out, "The food's good, I know," and walked on. I was starting to lose my vision at this point until my father suddenly ran over and stuck his hand down my throat and removed it. When I was 17, I was at a concert in Belfast, and a group of Protestants, about 9 or so, approached me in a dark alley and jumped me with bats and pipes. Ended up with punctured lungs, cracked ribs, broken arms, nose, skull cracked, you name it. The people at the hospital said I was lucky I hadn't choked on my own blood. There's probably more, but I can't think of much right now.
It seems the incidents where I nearly died reduced greatly when I became 18.
Just got my scuba open water qualification. Only ever dived before in pools and some rocky stuff. Never too deep, 10 meters max. Go on a trip to Fiji. There's some mad reefs there. So I'm keen to go see them. I'm 15 at the time, young and dumb. So we reach the end of the reef wall and descend down it about 30 to 40 meters. The deeper you go, the more oxygen you use, so it gets taken up quickly. I'm in awe of this place, though. It's stunningly beautiful, got very distracted. I look at my oxygen meter and see I have 2 minutes at the depth I was at. Panic, but stay calm. Can't rush to the surface because I'm at risk of the bends. Nitrogen in the blood expanding and possibly killing you. Slowly ascend and reach the surface with 50 seconds of O2. My face when I see a tiger shark, and I'm sitting alone on the surface while the rest of the group is still below. Fucking signal the boat. Don't thrash around because a shark will think I'm wounded and an easy kill. Get on. Alive. GG. Never let my O2 meter out of my hand ever again. Gave me quite a spook, but I learned from it.
Be winter. Be young and broke. No money to replace balding tires. Driving home from my girlfriend's house. The roads are slushy. Be driving a Honda CRX. For those that don't know, it's a very small car. A 2-seater, like driving a go-kart. Getting on the highway on ramp. Start to fishtail and spin out of control. When I reached the part where the on-ramp merges with the highway, my car was backwards facing the wrong way as the other cars. I still remember the looks on the other drivers' faces at moments when I was side by side with them facing opposite directions, while flying down the highway. This particular part of the highway was on an escarpment, so the ditches were really deep. This is it. .jpg. The car slides off the highway and slams into the deep ditch. The ditch is so deep and the car so small and the weather so shitty no one sees me in the ditch. Because of the shape of the ditch and the angle of the car, the driver's side door cannot be opened since it's up against the ground. The passenger side door is facing the sky. The impact left it jammed pretty good. I have to use both feet at full force to open it. Climb out, scale the high ditch and wave down help. Aside from being shaken up, I'm not hurt at all. A cop comes and says after seeing the wreck, he expected a dead body. Said I was lucky, as he has seen similar accidents in this area, and they never ended well. Go on with my life with a new lesson learned. Never skimp out on getting new tires.
I've never had my home invaded, but be me at 18 years old, be with a friend, sitting in my friend's car, drinking whiskey, doing Xanax and smoking a bunch. Get the bright idea to rob a drug dealer's house because we're running out of dope and money. Go to another friend, borrow a loaded .380. He knew the deal. We were going to cut him in afterwards. Mask up. Drive to a neighboring city. Both about 5 Xanax bars deep 'cause nerves. Pull off the side of the road a mile from the drug house, sneak through the woods, then down to the back door of the house. No lights on .jpg. Friend has the gun and I kick the shitty trailer's back door open. Friend runs in first and I follow. Instantly find lots of dope and a large amount of unsorted cash in a book bag. The dealer comes out with a baseball bat. Friend is too scared to fire the gun. Glad he didn't. Scuffle around in the dark trailer and get hit a few times by the bat. Punch the guy a few times. Friend and I get out, running up the street thinking we're good. Gunshots.jpg, turn into a Kenyan and book it back to the car. Made it out with $3,400 cash, also $7,000-ish in meth and some pills for personal use. Get home and rejoice we didn't die. Sell 7K of meth for less than 2K the next day. Both blow all our money on drugs. Lesson learned and not dead for the win. Never again, but awesome experience. Best adrenaline high of my life.
I hope that you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. If you enjoyed tonight's story, then please subscribe to the channel, as more Greentext will appear daily. A new broadcast will appear when the clock strikes midnight Central Time.